Did you ever have anything crazy happen in your life? Like something happened and immediately, man, you got anxious, you got emotional, you got fired up, you got offended, you got righteously indignant. What do you do? What do you do when that happens to you? You know what? So often when something happens like that, in that moment, we're like, justice needs to be done. Man, something wrong happened and we have to do something about it. You know what? I'm so blessed because I've served with such great elders through the years. And Brother Chuck Schambach always used to say this. We would bring some, what I would say, major issue to one of our elders meetings. And he would always go to Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. And verse 6 and 7 say this: don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. One translation says, don't be anxious about anything, but pray about everything. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Let me ask you a question. You know, when you get offended, when you get worked up, when you feel like an injustice has been done, or maybe when you get some really bad news, when you've heard something, so often what we want to do is we want to jump into a response. Now, there are things that require immediate response. If you're in the middle of the road and there's a car coming, you need to get out of the road. But when it's not something like a car is coming at you and you notice your emotions triggered and you get upset about something, a lot of times it's the anxiousness of the moment pressuring us into making a quick decision. And the problem is we're at our least likely place to make the right decision. Why? Because we're anxious, because we're worried, because we're concerned based upon our emotions. Brother Chuck would say, be anxious about nothing, but pray about everything. What are we going to do? Before we make some crazy decision, we're going to take it to Jesus. And so I want to encourage you today. You know what? The anxiousness of the world and the chaos of situations, man, it's so easy to just, jump into that emotional place. But it's so important for us to take a step back and before we jump to drastic measures to say, I'm not going to be anxious about anything, but I'm going to pray about everything. In Psalm chapter 4, it says this way: Don't sin by letting your anger control you. Think about it overnight and remain silent. How many times in your life did you make a decision that you regretted later because you made it too fast, right? And so often we wish we waited a minute. How many times did you type that email and by the time you were done typing it, you realized you shouldn't send it? And if you did it send, man, you wish there was a way you could get it back. You heard those words come out of your mouth, and then the next day you said, man, I wish I never said that. It says, don't sin by letting your anger control you. Think about it overnight and remain silent, Psalm 4:4. So sometimes, you know what we need to do is we need to say, oh, there's an emotion that's controlling or leading my decision. You know what I better do? I better make sure that emotion doesn't win. And I better make sure I calm down and I pray about it, that I take it to the Lord before this situation takes me away in a direction that I don't want to go. And so instead of being anxious and letting a situation get the best of you, man, don't get anxious. Pray. Pray about that situation. Take it to the Lord. Sleep on it. Let it go for a moment. And then see that after your emotions back down a little bit, you could see it maybe from the other person's side. Maybe you could see it from a different angle. Maybe you could realize that there was an injustice and something right needs to happen, but I'm in the right mind to move in that direction instead of responding out of anxiousness, out of worry, or out of anger. Anyhow, hey, this is a beautiful day. I hope you were able to enjoy it. God's blessed us with this beautiful fall. I hope you're enjoying it. And I hope to see you Sunday morning at Living Proof Church. We're just having an awesome time. Services at 9 a.m. and 10:45. We would love to see you. God bless you and have a great day.